Hey guys, and welcome to a new tutorial. Today we will talk about animations. We will add a jump and a landing animation to our Breeze project in C++ and add some more extendable setup for you guys to explore. By the way, my name is Roma and I am the technical evangelist. And I will be joined today by our very own support engineer Joshua Nuttall. And if you are, by the way, new to the series, you might be wondering what you are currently looking at. We made a cool little game project called Breeze and introduced some parts and pieces of Breeze to you in the live streams. You play as a small robot trapped somewhere on a low-poly island, trying to find fuel to fill up your rocket and return from your vacation. During our original stream event, each mechanic in the game was introduced one at a time, including some commentary from our resident developer experts at Crytek, who also work on our own games. Now we are bringing you all of that and much more, as we are adding step-by-step tutorials to the mix, enabling you to create your own island filled with beautiful low-poly assets and some platforming game mechanics you can enjoy. So let's start with the tutorial.
Hello. So, I'm Josh Nuttall. I'm support engineer at Crytek, and I'm going to show animation and how to do it. So, first of all, small disclaimer, we won't go into a lot of detail in this video. That's because we have a follow-up video done by the kind of animation experts for Cryengine, the people that write the systems, and they're going to go into a lot more detail than I could ever give you. So this is more of a how-to kind of approach rather than what it's doing. So with that, let's just quickly go over what we did last time. So we had added some game mechanics. So we have falling platforms. These ones, over there you see the bouncy platforms. Over there you see bouncy platforms, and here we have a pickup. It's nice and simple. But something to note is, whilst we do have a walk animation, there's no jump animation. And another thing to note is this isn't a very extensible animation setup that comes with the templates. So what we're going to do is go back over to the code. So back in code, let's go down to create some variables for the player. And there's a few extra ones that we're going to need for this tutorial. Let's add the new ones. So first of all, we want a bool for was on ground last frame. Next, we want a float. And this can be time since left ground. Another bool. Go through walking last frame. So was walking last frame. And then one final bool for falling down. So was falling downwards. And in terms of variables, that's pretty much what we need. But there's a few other things I'm going to change here. So I'm going to add two new fragment IDs. So we want a fragment ID for jump fragment, and a fragment ID for jump land fragment. So one for when we're jumping and one for when we're landing. Something else I'm going to add here is some action pointers. And we'll get into these in a moment, but for now I'll just add a iAction pointer. So iAction PTR, and we do this for every fragment that we have. So first of all, let's do idle action, and I imagine you get the idea. So we'll jump to when this is finished. Okay, so now that's done. That's pretty much all the variables we're going to need for this tutorial. Nice and simple. So what we're actually going to do now is we're going to add a little function to help us later on. We're not going to use this right away, but when we do, it's going to be really useful. It's going to be a void, and it's going to be called reset animation for animations. And all this does is, if we have an action, so it's, for example, do it with the idle, then we're going to stop the action. So the action, idle action, stop. and you do that for all the actions. And then afterwards, you want to set it to null pointer. So we do m_idle action equals null pointer. You just do that the same with all the other actions, and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, so now you've got all that copied, it should look like this. We have all your different actions. Now we're ready to go to the CPP file. So now in the CPP file, we want to set the defaults for some of these variables that we created. So let's start with the was on ground last frame. Set to false. Was walking last frame. To false. And the falling one, so falling downwards, also to false. And then put that a little bit out. And then finally, time since land, or time since left ground. That's a spelling mistake. That's just a spelling mistake that I did. Finally, you do the time since left ground. Time since left ground. And this you want to set to 0, essentially. With that done, we can go down to the initialize. Let's make sure that everything we need is here. So, in an earlier tutorial, we did the mannequin setup, the character file, controller definition, and default scope. Something that we will no longer need is a default fragment. This can be removed, not needed anymore. And something that we want to add is the jump and jump land fragment. And in replacement, we don't need this rotation tag because we don't use it anymore. So start with the jump. So jump fragment ID equals underscore the animation component. Get fragment ID and just the name of the fragment. In this case, it's just going to be called jump. And same thing with the jump land. The jump land fragment ID underscore the animation component. Get fragment ID, and this is just going to be called jump land. These fragments, if you've not already done it, need to be set up in mannequin. I believe this was done in a separate tutorial, so we'll link that one. With that done, we can now come down to the reset function, or reset event, and we're going to make some changes to this one. So now let's just remove everything that's there. We're going to redo all this. We're going to create a pool, and just call it leaving ground. Oh, no. Again. We're going to create a pool, and just going to call it leaving game mode. And this is going to be equal to event.endParam at index 0, and just make sure it's not equal to 0. So if this is true, then we're leaving the game mode. If it's false, then we're not leaving the game. Next, we want to set the is alive, and set this to leaving game mode. And then finally, we do it if leaving game mode, and then we're going to call reset animations. Set the was on ground last frame false. Was walking last frame false. Falling last frame was falling false, and the time since left ground to be 0. And finally, you want to let holding fuel be false. That's all nice and simple. Now we go down to the update animations. So update movement, update look direction, update animations. So come down to the update animation part, and what we're going to do is remove most of this. So keep this little YPR angle based stuff at the bottom. Everything else can be removed. We're going to redo all the animations in this section. So first of all, first step is stopping any animations that are currently playing that we don't want to continue playing. So let's start with the walk action. So if we have a walk action and the walk action get status less than I action exiting and not underscore the character controller is walking. What this means is if we have a walk action and the status of this is either exiting or lower and we're not currently trying to walk, then we just want to stop the walking. Then for jump is kind of the same, a little bit different in behavior. So we want to check see if there's jump, and then we want to get the jump action and check the status. And again, action exiting. That's it for this one because this thing gets broken down into two parts. So inside that we want to do an if underscore p catch controller and is on ground, and in this scenario jump action we can just stop it, and in the else we want to do else if and see if it was falling downwards, and if the catch controller get velocity on the axis, so the up and down motion is greater than or equal to 0. So in this case we want to get the jump action and stop it. Jump action equals new S simple action, and we're going to create this in a second. For now just know that it takes a priority value, so we're going to do 30U, so 30 unsigned, and give it a fragment to play. And then when we have this, all we need to do is get the animation component, and we want to queue custom fragment and just pass in the fragment with the action we just created. Now that's done, go back to the player and go all the way to the top. What we're going to do now is just create this S simple action. So within the C player component, we want to do using S simple action equals T action S animation context. Nice and simple. And if you go back to the C precode, you'll see that this is now working. So now we've stopped all the previous actions, we want to start some new ones. And the most important of these is going to be the idle action. So the idle action we want to always be playing. This is so that if no other action is playing, we default back to an idle. So what we're going to do is, if we don't have an idle action, so underscore idle action, then we want to create one. And this is really simple. So underscore idle action equals new S simple action, and its priority is going to be 0, the lowest priority we have. And it's going to take a idle fragment ID. In this case, it's going to take a tag underscore state empty, and the most important part is the I action interruptible. And all this means is we can interrupt this action with something new. So if we're in the middle of idle and the character walks, it then transitions to a walk animation action. Okay, then in here, we're also going to do m underscore, if not m underscore p character controller is on ground. And here we're going to create a jump action. So m underscore jump action, new s simple action, give a priority of 30, and this is going to take the jump fragment ID. And that we got up here, let's just quickly add that. The animation component, queue custom fragment, and just pass it to idle. So every time you create an action, it's normally best just to queue it. And we actually want to do the same with this jump action. So underscore p animation component, queue custom fragment, and this is going to be the jump action. Nice and simple. And now there's one last little bit left to do, and this is just queuing all the other, creating and queuing all the other fragments that we have. So if was on ground last frame, and player controller, m underscore p character controller is on ground, then we want to queue a jump action. So create a new jump action. So as simple action, priority of 30 for jump, and it's just going to take a jump fragment ID. And then once we created it, get the animation controller or component, and we just want to queue custom fragment. And just want to queue the jump action. If we're not jumping, do an else if, and this time we're going to see if we're walking. So if we was not walking last frame, and the character controller is walking, and character controller is on ground. So if we're on the ground and we're supposed to be walking this frame but not already walking, then we're going to create a new walk action. So again, S simple action. But this time the priority is going to be 20. We want it to be lower priority than jump, but higher priority than nothing. And this is going to be walk fragment ID. And with all the others, same here, we just queue the custom fragment. And just pass it in the walk action. And then there's one final action to queue. So we do an if was on ground last frame, and the character controller is on ground. Make sure that's not on ground last frame, because we want to be landing here. And we're going to add a little threshold to make sure that we're actually falling a reasonable distance. We do it and time since left ground greater than equal 0.2 f. So see if it's essentially 0.2 of a second, because this is going to be stored through delta time. And then in the scenario we want to create a jump land action. There's a new S simple action. This is going to be a priority of 10, and it's going to be jump and fragment ID. Priority of 10 just means if we're walking when we're landing, that takes priority. And then same with previous ones, we just queue the fragment. The pre-animation component, queue custom fragment, queue custom fragment, and you pass in the jump land action. That's all the animations set up. There's just one small thing left to do, and this is fairly important or else it's not going to work. What I want to do is go back up to the update event. So in this update event we do a lot of behaviors and stuff, but at the very end of it we want to actually update these variables we created earlier. So first of all, was on ground last frame. Very simple. P character controller is on ground. Was walking last frame. Again, very simple. The character controller is walking. Was falling downwards. Let's go the character controller, get velocity, and the Z is less than 0. And then last little bit, if P character controller is on ground, then the time since left ground is 0. If this is not the case, then the time since left ground, we just add frame time. Nice and simple. So now when we build this, and we run it again, and we open up the level, what we should be able to see now is when I jump in, there's a falling animation, jump in animation, and let's say still there's like a small landing animation. But if I walk forward and land, he goes into the walk animation instead. Nice and simple and much more sustainable. And if I don't do anything, it goes straight into an idle. Very nice and simple. There's one more thing I actually want to cover in this tutorial. So if you notice in the very end of the last tutorial, when we picked up the fuel, it showed on the character's back. And some people pointed this out to us, and it was an oversight on our point. But I'm going to show you how to set that up now. So let's go back to the code. And there's a new method that we want to add. So in the player.h, we want to go down to where we do the set hold and fuel, and we want to add a new one called void hide joint. And this is going to take a bool if we want to hide the joint. Come over to the UP file, and let's do this towards the bottom. Do it here. Void C player component, and we'll do the hide joint. Fix in a bool called hide, and this is a very simple one. So we want to get the I attachment manager, or we want to create an I attachment manager. That's going to be a pointer. Call it attachment manager. This is equal to P animation component, get character, get I attachment manager. And just for safety, let's null check that. Then we want to get an I attachment. And that's going to be a pointer for that attachment. And that's just going to be equal to attachment manager, get interface by name, and I engineered that we called this attachment fuel. Let's just check to see if that exists, and if it does, what we can do is attachment, hide attachment, and we're just going to pass in hide. Essentially, on the character, we've attached the fuel object to the character in the character tool. And all we're doing is just hiding and showing that attachment in the game. So now we have this, let's put it to some good use. So first of all, we want to go up to the end of the initialize. So after we initialize, we want to do that. What was it? So after the initialize, at the end of the initialize, we want to do hide joint, and we want to do this to true. We want to start with a hidden joint. Then on the revive, if you find where the revive is, all the way down here. At the end of the revive, we want to do the same. So hide joint to true. And then we want to actually use this when we pick up stuff. So when we pick up an object, you'll see we do the set holding fuel to true. Before that, we want to do player, hide joint, and we want to set this to false. They want the joint to no longer be hidden. Then on the collection zone, when we do the collection behavior, we set the set holding field to false. We want to just follow this up with hide joint be true. So now we should be able to build that and run and open up a level. And what we should see now is not that. What we should see now is when I pick up the fuel, it's on the character's back. And that's pretty much everything for this tutorial. We've covered setting up your animation so you have a jump and it's more extensible in the future. The details of how that works is going to be in the next video with Claudio. And we've covered how to add the attachment onto the character. Hopefully you've learned a lot.
So I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and if you have some positive feedback or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. Josh, thank you for the tutorial and thank you for your time. So guys, if you want to learn more or if you want to join an awesome community, in the video description you will find links to our social media channels like Twitter, Facebook and so on. But you will also find a link to our Discord channel, our very active Discord channel. So if you have any questions or you want some help or you want to discover what the Cryengine community is up to, you can join our Discord channel. So if you enjoyed that tutorial, leave a thumbs up and share that video with your friends. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.